My name is Charissa Torossian, and I had the privilege of writing the entry in the book Dare to Connect with God, the one on praying for healing. I'm sure that's something all of us have done at some point in our lives and wondered, did God really hear my prayer because healing did not come the way we expected it or in the time we anticipated it? I want to encourage you with some Bible verses now that will encourage you to keep holding on to God and to pray for healing, because it's something that God delights to do. In Mark's Gospel, Mark chapter 16, verse 18, Mark has here recorded the words of Jesus' Great Commission as he recollects them, or as they were told to him. And he records in Mark 16, verse 18, the end of the verse says that Jesus says, "They will lay hands on the sick," speaking of his believers, his disciples who will follow him down through time. They will lay hands on the sick and they will recover. So that's an encouragement to all of us, because it means that Jesus' healing power was not confined to the time when he physically walked among us on this earth as a man, when he lived on this earth, but it means that Jesus will continue to exercise his power to heal on behalf of the sick who put their trust in him right down through time till Jesus comes. So we should always pray for the sick and pray for them to be healed. Another beautiful text, James 5, verses 15 and 16, the Bible says, "And the prayer of faith will save the sick." Before it talks about being anointed, and that's something you should look at as well. But the prayer of faith will save the sick, and the Lord will raise him up. And if he has committed sins, he will be forgiven. Confess your trespasses one to another and pray for one another that you may be healed. The effective, fervent prayer of a righteous man or woman avails much. These are verses that tell us we should be praying, but not just praying for the sick, but praying with faith, believing that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ever ask or think. I think as you read the entry that I have put there in the book, I hope that you will gain a sense of God's heart. You will sense God's love for the sick, for you, for others, and that would inspire your prayer life. But even more than that, I pray that in discovering and reflecting on the heart of God, that you will be encouraged to put your trust in him no matter what. Thy will be done. Not my will, but thy will be done is the prayer that should always be on our lips. And I'd encourage you, as is also there in that chapter, in this book, this little page, this little entry, to read the book Ministry of Healing, chapter 16. It's a beautiful exposition on praying for the sick. And there are things in that chapter I didn't get to include in the small entry in the book. So Ministry of Healing, chapter 16, it's all about praying for the sick as well. As I close, I just want to encourage you to never give up praying, to pray for the sick, because God hears every prayer and he answers every prayer according to his good and perfect will. The answer may not always be the way we expect or in the time we expect it, but God's answers and God's ways are always so much better and higher than ours. May God bless you as you continue to walk with God and as you dare to connect with him day by day through prayer.